These brakes are pretty bad. This rotor was on there for quite some time. I had to take like 5 minutes of my time just to smack it off. It's pretty rusty. Yeah, pretty bad. The inside is pretty rusty too, but I mean, it's just because it's been sitting for so long. But we got some new brakes, and I'll unpack those in a second here. So these are the new brakes from RockAuto. I like the black, that looks cool. It'll keep it from rusting, so I suppose that's what it's for. But RockAuto brakes, pretty cheap and just as good as the stuff you get from the store. I might have to hit that on with a hammer because of how tight those brakes are. So sometimes in order to get these new brake rotors to sit, you have to mess with the screw on the bottom of these things. Hold on, where is it? Right there, there's a little gear. Probably can't really tell because of the... Hold on, let's see if this is better. Right there on the bottom there's a gear. You have to push that down in order to loosen these pads, or your brake shoes. And then it should push it right back in so you can put a new rotor on. I'm going to try that in just a second. Just like that. Couple seconds is all it takes to loosen that and get the rotor back on. I like the looks of that, it's nice. On to the pads. With anything you want to re-grease these guide pins. I already wiped them off, and it's just some brake grease I had lying around that I'm going to use. It'll work just fine. Grease is grease, don't matter. What a difference in pads. They're tiny, but just look at that. So worn. And these new pads just slide right in very, very easily. I didn't get new hardware because this stuff is fine. Optional. But these are very smooth to go in, which is nice for a change because it's usually very hard with some brake pads for some reason. It's always better to put the caliper bracket back on first as well. This part's going to be kind of hard to record, but I'll try to show the piston going back in. If it doesn't go back in, you have a seized caliper. Just replace it and then re-bleed your brakes. Just as easy. You already have it off, just take the banjo off up there behind my knee. And it's going right back in. Very good for a rusty car. And there we go, just like that. We have brand new brake pads and rotors on the Forester. One thing you gotta remember is if you push these pistons in on the caliper, when you start your car, you're going to want to press the brakes a couple times so you can get the pistons to push back in on the pads because it'll be very soft. I have done that a couple times and it's been a little scary throwing the car back in park. But this is a manual, so I'd have to throw the e-brake if it starts rolling kind of funny. But that's it, guys. One step done on the RockAuto build.